What does it take to build a successful democracy? A strong and thriving democracy is based on a foundation of good governance, strong institutions, and a peaceful environment. We need to hear the voices of all our people, and we need to bring it all together through sustainable partnerships with those who can help us achieve our goals.
For UNDP to be successful, you have to count on the support of key partners, those that we work very closely with, like USAID, like the European Union, like Norway, like Canada, in terms of funding for the work that we did, and also to the entire development partner landscape where we met regularly to discuss the issues, exchange information, and where we had key messages that we had to give.
Ghana's maturing democracy faced challenges in 2016. Public confidence in electoral institutions was low. It was in this climate of political tension and uncertainty that the UNDP, with the support of our development partners, sought to identify potential interventions that would help to ensure credible elections. It takes all hands to make democracy work. This is why the UNDP collaborated with development partners and implementing organizations to fund and roll out our election interventions. The UNDP is grateful for the financial support and global expertise that our development partners shared with us. 2016's activities were another chapter in the long and fruitful relationships we have with our donors.
Canada is proud to have provided 1.9 million Canadian dollars to help support the political participation of women and to promote peaceful elections. We supported key stakeholders such as the Electoral Commission and the National Peace Council to improve conflict mediation strategies.
For UN Women, it was a positive experience. It was good working with UNDP, and we really hope that we can work more on women's political participation in Ghana in partnership with UNDP.
We have had several peace marches. The Danish ambassador participated also in one of these peace marches, where we literally could see young people from all walks of life, from all religious backgrounds, coming together, dialoguing about the importance of having peaceful elections. Whereas the support to the National Peace Council and the regional peace councils goes a bit beyond that.
The building blocks of a successful democracy and to delivering a successful election are peace, participation, and strong institutional capacity. The UNDP's support during 2016 focused on supporting the development of more efficient, accountable, and inclusive structures and systems in the electoral process, in order to deliver peaceful, credible, and transparent results. Our goals were as follows: a strengthened electoral administration mechanism, improved civic and voter education, enhanced participation of marginalized groups in elections, strengthened capacity of Ghana's peace architecture. In the run-up to the 2016 elections, the Electoral Commission faced significant challenges, both legal and operational, and the intense media focus affected public confidence in the institution. Following a request for support and a needs assessment, the UNDP identified several strategic areas and led the coordination with development partners to provide support to the Commission. The UNDP is grateful to the Canadian government for their support implementing several strategic interventions, including technical support, conflict management training, improving the transparent collation of results, and the presidential dialogue.
UNDP acted as true partners to the Electoral Commission. They spent a significant amount of time with the leadership of the Commission, helping us determine our needs going into an election year. And so, unlike most other donor partners, we started working with the UNDP before the election year. And so in 2015, with my predecessor, Dr. Kuja Farijan, they started the process of an internal needs assessment of the Commission. That needs assessment led to the production of a 5-year strategic plan and the rebranding of the Commission in early 2016.
Civic and voter education are crucial to ensuring that the public understands their rights and responsibilities in the electoral process. This drives voter participation, especially in first-time voters. In collaboration with the Canadian government, the UNDP supported the EC and the National Commission for Civic Education in a dialogue series and nationwide survey to understand the concerns of the voter. This intervention assisted in providing the Commission with the information they needed to provide adequate civic education and give political parties an idea of issues that voters would like them to address. Another intervention in partnership with Canada and the EC was an intensive voter education campaign aimed at reducing rejected ballots. 20 voter education billboards were erected around the country, and posters were displayed at every polling station reminding voters of the correct process. This resulted in a decrease in the number of rejected ballots, from 2.2% in 2012 to 1.5% in 2016, well below the internationally accepted threshold of 5%. At the front of the minds of all Ghanaians was the need for peaceful elections. Strengthening Ghana's peace architecture was crucial to the success of the elections. In collaboration with the United States Agency for International Development, UNDP supported the National Peace Council, traditional leaders, the media, and several peace actors to implement interventions. The Government of Canada and the Danish International Development Agency collaborated with UNDP to provide logistical support to 10 regional peace councils. DANIDA and UNDP worked together to facilitate interfaith cooperation as a safeguard against electoral violence.
You cannot have sustainable development without peace. And probably maybe that could be the anchor upon which they came in terms of full support to the Peace Council. We have only one Ghana, and everybody must work to ensure peace and justice in this country.
Religious leaders were tremendously influential in promoting peace at grassroots level. Interfaith dialogues and events were held across the country, with Christians and Muslims coming together to work for peace. With the support of the Danish Embassy, these events reached thousands of people across the country.
If we're able to keep our country in unity, it's good for all of us. And so instead of doing it Christian Council looking for Christians, we felt that we can team up with our friends in Islam and use that interfaith harmony to address a common national issue.
If Muslims and Christians are in harmony in Ghana, then they provide a very huge resources from promoting electoral peace, because it's the youth from both Muslims and Christians that can be manipulated or be drawn or incited into violence. So it's an area that I think that is good for us to begin to learn.
True democracy requires that all citizens have a voice in the political process. For democracy to work, we need to include those who have historically been marginalized. Our women, our youth, and people with disabilities need a chance to participate fully in elections, both as voters and candidates. With the support of UN Women, a nationwide campaign was rolled out to raise public awareness of the need to vote more women into Parliament.
We know the value that women bring on board when they are involved in the development process. And so it was important for us, especially that the elections was not only presidential but also parliamentary. And so we wanted to see how women can participate, not only as candidates but also as voters. And in part of political party processes, campaigns and everything, women's involvement in the entire electoral process.
In partnership with UN Women, UNOWAS, UNDP and the governments of Norway and Canada, a project called the Women's Situation Room was initiated, focusing on peace building and conflict resolution. It provided a platform for women and youth groups to mobilize and work together for peace, including the training and deployment of 400 female election observers and an eminent women's group who helped to monitor and intervene in conflict situations during the election.
But this was to help them understand the issues that were at stake, what their responsibilities are as citizens of the country, so they can make informed choices in terms of ensuring that the elections are peaceful, first of all, because, you know, the women are the mothers of the youth. And so if you understand what the process is, you know how to guard and guide your youth when they go about some of these things.
The UNDP acknowledges with immense gratitude the support of our development partners, without whom these initiatives would not have come to fruition. Many lessons were learned during the process, and UNDP Ghana is now well positioned to look forward to 2020. It is important to look ahead, towards a sustainable future where we rely less on donor support and are able to take the reins ourselves as a country. It is truly up to all of us as Ghanaians to work together to ensure that Ghana's democracy is protected and strengthened for the benefit of all our people.
The quest for peace must always be a collective endeavor and never the work of a select few. And we must always bear this in mind anytime we want to do any intervention.
Our development partners have shown us once again that successful democracy depends on partnership, people, and participation. The UNDP, on behalf of all the people of Ghana, extends our deepest gratitude to those partners who made such vital contributions to the success of the 2016 elections.